Yeah, Sean, I wasn't expecting to do this impromptu stream at all, but I had to get on here tonight because this is crazy. Like, seriously crazy. Like, I don't know what is going on at all. I don't know what's going on with this event. I think like a lot of players right now, I'm feeling very frustrated. It's probably not the best time for me to live stream, but I'm gonna keep it civil, and I'm gonna keep it um, pushing along. So, what does everyone here think about this event? I guess I want to start with a little perspective because I definitely am on another side of the event than you, Sean, and whoever else is watching. Um, the event itself was incredibly simple for me. It was um, the solo milestones. I sent my Saladin out 4 times, killed 4 bosses. I was done. I was like, okay, that's cool. I finished that off real quick, and then I was looking at these event tabs, and I'm like, what is going on? I'm like, this whole PvP thing. This is really irritating me. Oh, this is an aspect of what's irritating me because the PvP event in Active War Part Two was great. You destroy your ship 20 times. You destroy another friend's ship 20 times. And boom, you're done. You got all this titanium, this dilithium, these rewards to recoup the resources you had spent doing it. Plus, you got additional rewards. Keep in mind, myself including the other content creators, we went to panic initially when that launched, and we're like, dude, we need a lot more titanium. We need a lot more dilithium because these repair costs because it was all faction ships that you had to use for PvP. Those repair costs were astronomical. The repair speed ups were astronomical. My Saladin takes 5 hours and 45 minutes to repair when it gets destroyed. That's 6 hours. I have to burn through speed ups and latinum every time it's destroyed. Tonight alone, I had to repair my Saladin 4 times. So that is that is what, 22 hours I had to speed through. It's it's so crazy. It's so crazy. I couldn't believe it. Yeah, Sean. Um, so you have a good point. You can get a North Star out of it. You don't have a North Star. That's Hey Joe. That's really cool. That's awesome. Um, the leaderboard focused events do not work for 99% of the player base. They simply do not work because you're going to have the massive whales stay at the top, and even this PvP event where it's ranked, 1 through 10. The moment you get to third place, what are those? What is this? What is 1,800 Batla tokens? I mean, what is that going to buy us? Is that going to buy us 100,000 trit? Do you know how many times we had to spend resources to repair those ships? How many speed ups we had to use because the, all the research we've done on speeding up our repairs is completely gone. And now we have to use speed ups in Latinum to speed everything up to stay consistent in with an event. There's no benefit to to this cost benefit analysis for the players. It doesn't make sense. Um, there's a leaderboard for the alliance. I mean, look at this. We usually hit second place. This event is going for, of course, 1 day and 12 hours. I don't know why. Um, And a second place for us burning through so many ships, clearing out all these bosses. Everyone gets 1,200 Batla tokens. Ultra recruit tokens 400. Premium recruit tokens 75. I mean, seriously, what is this? Um, I I try very hard to see both perspectives, and I can't see Scopely's perspective in this. This doesn't make sense. It seems like the people who did the last event and the people who did this event are completely unrelated. It's like two different companies. And they definitely do not talk with one another. I don't get it. I simply do not get it. Daniel, I apologize, but no habla español. Um, and then Joe says, I bought a lot of 2-star battleship parts and enough to pull an ultra recruit pull. That's great. It's great. This is really great that it is really going to be focused for free to play players. Um, and Shabril says it doesn't make sense. Agreed. And I'm not even as high level as you. Sean says I'm already telling my under 20s to concentrate on their own solo markers, use it for ship tiering and RSS tokens. That's a really good idea, Sean. To get those resources that can be saved in tokens, that will definitely help. Um, but as far, I mean, let's look at this active ward leaderboard. Okay, let's see who's there's 21,000. So let me show you guys what I bought today in this awesome event store. So I finished off four bosses by myself. My Saladin soloed them. It was pretty awesome. I can show you guys the battle logs. I thought that was really cool. Then I got to this store and I'm like, okay, I got 14,000 tokens. I really want Carol Marcus. 10,000 for 3 shards. 10,000 Batlet tokens for 3 shards. And she needs 90. Okay? She needs 90 to unlock. I was like, no, definitely not going with that. Not a chance in heck. And then I was thinking about DCS and Mara. And I really want DCS because I don't have him. I was looking at his stats and his officer ability. And his main officer ability is every time the ship is hit, he increases weapon damage by 6% at his basic level. And I'm like, that's cool if I'm fighting a boss, somebody that's going to require, 50 rounds or so. And that would make him really helpful. But for the most of the game, he's not gonna be one of my go-tos. Mara, I like Mara a lot. Her stats for being on the bottom of a ship are great. So thanks to Craig for shouting that out. And then the hijack ships. I thought the main purpose of this event was to get hijack ships. So if I take a look at this, it's 3,600 Batlet tokens for a single shard, and I'm assuming you can only buy 3 a day. So over 7 days, that's like 21 blueprints. You can't buy it, and you need 100. And I was like, so how is everyone supposed to get it? I'm assuming it's going to be in the augment store, like they were saying, so you can earn some blueprints here. And so I was like, okay, well, I already have the hijack Mayflower video to come on that, and I have a North Star. I have a regular Legionary. The Bortus blueprints kind of appealed to me, but a good friend of mine said you can't do any Klingon research because I'm not a Klingon allied. So I was like, okay, well, not really doing that. Just got my Saladin, have my Centurion. Then there is some rare. So I got to spend 12,000 Batlet tokens on one rare refined crystal. 12,000. And I only earned 16,000 today. So I was like, okay, well, I need it for my Saladin. I'm short about 23 rare refined crystal, and that may shorten the gap there, so that's cool. If we look at uncommon refined G3, $870 for one. For one, and I believe you can buy 3. And so I'm just going through the store, and I'm like, it was funny because my teammate, um, Bundy, that I play with all the time, he goes, "What's wrong?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Usually for every event, you are so psyched and you're super excited, and it's like you're at a funeral service." I'm like, I feel like it's dead. I feel like this event is so incredibly bad. Sherrill says, was thinking, rather hoping, that I might finally get a hijack faction ship, but my fears were confirmed. Might get some parts, but don't think I will make it for the full ship. Yeah, I agree. I don't think anyone is going to get the full ship unless you earn the 20, and then you have to buy the other. I think the 40 will be in $100 packs. And if you pass that up, then I think you can probably earn them over months in the augment store. But I was just like, what is going on? And I don't know what's going on with my game right there. Um, so I was just like, hey, Noah Shell, I was checking out your video today. It was good, the one you just posted. Um, so I'm just like going through this, and I'm like, just really like watching this, and I'm like, I don't know, is anyone excited about this event? Like really excited? Like you all you want to do is like wait for the next day for it to refresh so you can go back out there, because that's the way we were in the previous event. Me and my teammates were like, oh man, I wish it wasn't over. I wish we could still keep going. We're gonna have to wait until tomorrow. We're all gonna team up. We're gonna take on some bosses. We're gonna find some people to PvP with. It's gonna be so much fun because we were looking forward to those rewards. And Craig and Craig says, by the way, now that I see your screen, I know I heard you correct earlier. Your event costs are different. It must be tiered also. My costs are slightly cheaper at level 33. And I agree with that, Craig. And Embanek says Rev Deuce is griping too. Yeah, and I literally just got done watching Deuce's video, and I was like, you know what? I gotta say something. I just gotta say something. Usually I try to be incredibly diplomatic. But this event has like just stirred me up so deeply inside, and it was this event is just not cool. That's the best way I can be diplomatic about it. Not cool at all. And Sean says, I'm hoarding all event tokens till last day to cash in as much as possible. 5,300 for one TRIT token. Sean, they all have timers. Buy them daily. And Craig says, my uncommon costs 850, for example. No one shall. This event is truly garbage. Ships aren't obtainable till 3 to 4 events. Omega Sanchez says, I told you it was a fraud, plus the event. Joe says, I think us new players, it is really good and helps us out, the new players. It is sad that don't make it great for you pay players. And Joe, you have a really good point. I want every event to be good for everyone. And I believe that is the nature of why events are tiered. Why Craig is saying he's seeing different things on his game. If it's tiered correctly, I think an event can be great. Great for everyone involved. That is not what we have in front of us at all, in the least, nada. And Omega says, I've been stuck for months at level 19 because the stinking refinery should generate exactly what you need, not random. Well, Omega, and I do understand why it's a bit random. However, I wish that it would definitely supply more at random than what it currently does. No one shall says, I have plenty to say about this event, but I don't know if I'm going to make a video. No one shall, I would encourage you to make a video. Put your thoughts out there. Be constructive with it. Let Scopely know, what all of us content creators are thinking, because you can guarantee everything that we produce content-wise ends up on somebody's email to check out. And Embanek says, saw this coming months ago, rage demic. And that's a really good point to talk about, is the current state of the game and the current state of the player base. And we see so many people griping in the Star Trek Fleet Command Discord server, on Reddit, on the YouTube channels, and it got me. This event, it was weird because this event made me start to think of, should I branch out and start doing videos on different games? What kind of games is everyone playing? What kind of games can I kind of get my hand into that is definitely going to be a fair investment for myself as well as my subscribers? Because at the end of the day, my priority is not Scopely. My priority isn't necessarily me. My priority is making sure I'm producing what people want to see on this channel. No one else says, if I make a video, it's going to be a lot of cussing. Good point. And Sean says, Sync wasn't very impressed either. And this will be a conversation that we are going to have with Panic early tomorrow morning, because he is probably in bed right now, probably soon to be waking up. And I honestly, I don't know how they can fix it at this point. I think there's ways for Scopely to put in minor fixes, like increasing the rewards, adjusting the reward tiers, things like that. But what I want is, I want a PvP that is tier based, that is based on, you get 5 kills, you get these rewards. 10 kills, you get these rewards. And throw in a leaderboard if you want to do that. Do not just make it a leaderboard. That is ridiculous. Especially when you are saying faction ships only. You want people to buy faction ships, to participate in events. You have to create content that will entice them to do so. This event right here says we've sold enough faction ships already. Plain and simple. We've sold enough. We really don't need to push that anymore. That is crazy. This event is just bonkers. Just crazy. And Omega says, the alliances are left alone. Many leave because of these things, man. It's very true. People, and No One Shell says, people get mad at me when I cuss in my videos. I don't cuss in my videos because, I'm not sure if I come across that way, but I love to cuss and swear all the time. But I am incredibly cognizant of my YouTube channel and the viewer base. I don't know what people are comfortable with, so I don't do that. And Chris says, so can I ask what ships you got offered in your store, as I only got offered the 4 faction ships? Oh, sure. So in my store, so I got Centurions, I got the Saladin, and by the way, I can see a lot of Sallies coming out to play because of this offer. The Mayflower and the Legionnaire pack, and then the upgrade to the Mayflower and Legionnaire. No One says it's second nature for him to cuss. So if we take a look at the Saladin pack, this is actually, if I can remember correctly, so $100 would buy 4,000 Federation faction units, and it's 200 units per blueprint. So that's 20. If I'm doing my math right. Yep, 20 blueprints. This is a really good offer, and I honestly wish it would have been available when I bought my Saladin. So you are getting 14 free blueprints from this offer. This is an offer to buy. It has so many great aspects to it, with the rare refined crystal, which I really need, the titanium, the level up items that you're going to need for the Saladin. This is a really good pack to get. And the Saladin usually costs $500 if you have no Federation faction units, and if you buy this, it'll be $300 for a full Saladin. So this is definitely a good offer. This is probably the brightest point of the event is this pack to buy. I honestly would not go with a Centurion. I don't like mine right now very much. Hey Patrick. No One Shell says, when the offer is $100 cheaper than when you had to buy the faction packs alone, 400 versus 300 is a much better buy now. And Chris says, would have been great if they offered a good Saladin or Centurion upgrade pack. Very good point. The Enterprise pack costed $100 and gave 6 blueprints. Yeah, I've noticed the blueprints start to increase in price as you go up from the Saladin to the Intrepid to the Enterprise. And Omega says, here in Mexico, $99 is the salary of a week. Oh, WTF. No One Shall says, a faction pack Sally is my week's pay alone. So, it really comes down to, what do I got in here? Nothing much. That's a new one. And pay 4 million dilithium. I might actually do that for the rare crystal. I actually need that. I'm getting way off topic there. So 15 for the Intrepid. And so, I was making the video on, and just to kind of show you guys this, I was making the video on the hijacked USS Mayflower, and what I noticed was I wasn't that excited in the video. And I'm kind of like thinking to myself, do I really want to upload that video? Because it just seemed meh. I was like, this is the Mayflower. This is the hijacked USS Mayflower. And you can definitely tell I'm a very expressive, on the cuff kind of person. If I like something, it is going to be very obvious. If I don't like something, it is going to be very obvious. And so I'm not a good actor in that regard. I think the hijacked ships are great. They're fun. However, they're incredibly similar to their non-hijacked versions. Incredibly similar. And I think this is my beef with the ship. If you take a look at the ship here, so the prototype phaser array, this might be different on the hijack. Okay, so rare gas, rare ore, ship parts, titanium, dilithium. That's all the same on the Mayflower, regular Mayflower. However, this plutonium, rare plutonium, you need at tier 5. You got to put that in there. What does it do? What does it add extra into this hijack ship? Nothing. I challenge anyone to tell me what this does. What does this extra element that we have to find, we have to buy in the augment store, what does it add to the ship? Because when I look at the stats, everything is identical to the Mayflower. It talks about, Queen took the time to update the Mayflower's nacelles, greatly reducing power drain during long voyages. Okay, that kind of tells me like, oh, it's going to be faster. It's going to have a longer warp range, or the impulse drive is going to be faster. Nope, it's entirely the same. Then I'm like, okay, maybe it's going to have more power for their shields. Nope, it's the same. And so I'm like, I'm not sure what it is other than a beautiful new skin. And it is beautiful. The artwork on this ship is amazing. And when you see, let's just do this. Let me do this. When you see it in space, it looks amazing. Like the colors just pop on this thing. And I love it. I think the nacelles really pop out. It's just a great design. But here's my beef with this. If you are going to require common, uncommon, and rare plutonium, and it is identical to the Mayflower that isn't hijacked, but the hijacked version requires those things, there should be a payoff. There should be something additional that ship is going to be doing. So ultimately, it's a great ship. I have a lot of fun with it. I like zooming around in it. I have no regrets about upgrading it to its current tier. Um, but my thing is I was kind of waiting in this event for something to come out, be like, hey, you need a hijacked USS Mayflower, or you go into augment space and you won't be attacked, or there's certain missions that are unlocked with the ship, or something. It fires torpedoes instead of all phasers. I think that would be cool. Like if they would switch up all the armaments on the ship, something different. But no, it's not different, unfortunately. And so that is just going to be my rant about that. And Patrick says the event is really bad. It's really bad. I I really hope they fix it. I don't know how they're going to fix it. I really hope they do because they need to fix it. And he says, yep, can't get enough resources to pay the repair costs and get benefits. John says, on a third, I think he means rank alliance on our server, none of us are working or PvP, telling people don't bother with the alliance event, it isn't worth it. Yeah. And Omega says, and yeah, the repair times is just an issue that we keep asking about and it keeps getting ignored. And Chris, yep, he says, but if you have the hijacked legionary, you also need to have the plutonium as well. Yes, Chris, they did. He asked me if Scopely gave one to make a video of, and they did. And Patrick says, oh boy, it took them a couple of months to repaint the Mayflower and add plutonium to the ship upgrades. John says, yeah, and if not, 30, you can't get past, tier 5 when energy weapons go blue. Patrick says, can't they get new developers? Honestly, Patrick, I don't think it's the developers. I think these decisions are definitely coming from management. And it goes back to my discussion about mobile game developers and mobile game management companies. And it is, there's this struggle with long-term versus short-term investment. And you can pretty much tell a long-term versus short-term investment game. At this point, I'm really curious where Scopely's strategy is headed, because I can see what they're trying to do for long-term investment, and I can definitely see what they're trying to do for short-term investment. And time is only going to tell what exactly is their philosophy. Omega, you say I have 5 plutonium in a botany bay, or how to upload it. I'm not sure what your question is. Craig says, I might be in the minority, but I don't think it's that bad. PvP for points is just silly kill trading. A ranking must mean they don't want that. I love choices in awards. So a couple of thoughts. And Craig, you have a really good point. The reward store is great to have those options. However, I don't believe that. So if we take a look at the previous event, we were getting, correct me if I'm wrong, but in the faction ship PvP event, we were getting like 6 million in titanium a day for 20 kills, about 100,000 in 6 million titanium, about 100,000 dilithium, and Mara shards. We got enough Mara shards to tier her up twice, and then I got enough con shards to fully unlock con, and I was getting those rewards every day. So in this kind of goes back to, a lot of events, like one of my gripes with this game is, where are these people? Like, seriously, where are these people? I've seen DCS is in the game. I got 6 of his shards today. Harrison has been in the game. I believe Zoe and Yuki were in the game for a hot minute. They added Marcus overnight, and let's see. I think Darwin was like a long time ago, and no one's ever seen him again. Leslie, Moreau, Pike, there are rare chances to get them. Carol has been unobtainable. Mitchell has been in the event. Then there's the augments. So I really want to see these crew. I really want new crew added into the packs of what we can get. And Patrick says that Tommy Scopely gave it to him to allow him to promote it. It's how it works. Being a content creator and signing Scopely does give you the benefits. And Craig says, you're right. Awards were huge in some previous events, were huge. If someone took a week away, they were foobarred. Oh yeah, no Harrison this time. And Harrison is the big one, Craig. Harrison is the one we all want for our Sally. And Patrick says Zoe is in the event store for him. Oh, that's awesome. I'm not sure. Let's see, Zoe. Let's see, as long as the ship has morale, so Kirk. Paul Zoe increases the shield deflection, armor, and dodge of the ship by 30% of the crew's defense. No. Paul Zoe increases the defense of all officers on the bridge and the ship. Okay. So, not that great. Kind of like DCS. Sean, are you happy I told you not to upgrade? Sean was asking me if he should level up today, and I said, not before an event. No one shall. How'd you get Carol? And Craig says, my alliance ranked too high for Darwin. I think we got Chang or something. And that's the other thing. Chang and T'Pring in every single mining event needs to change. Like, I get it. You like them. Can we get Stone? Can we get the other Klingon miner? Can we get some new crew in there? I mean, seriously, let's switch it up here. Chris, I hate you. I'm just kidding. I really want Harrison so bad. And so it just kind of goes to there's so much of this game that is still locked down, which is fine. I actually was doing some missions today, and let's see, where'd you go? I think this is the one. This was fun. I got my Saladin to kill a 902k boss. That was really cool. I really enjoyed that. I got that mission out of the way, and then I did another one, and this time I hit an interceptor that was 673k. That was cool. That was a lot of fun. So I was able to knock out a couple of missions there, unlock a couple others, kind of warp around, pick up some more missions, and then let's take a look at this, or maybe not. So I KO'd a boss with my Saladin. That was fun. First time I was able to do that. Oh, no one else says I spent 125. I had 75 in Google Play. Good idea. Only thing I can say about Carol is her ability works below deck. Interesting. Yeah, Patrick, that was one heck of a Tala. I will say that. I do know that. So no one else says, you're able to use more than one chip for those bosses, right? I do know that. But what I was doing is I was pushing the Sally to see what it was capable of. And it's capable of crazy things. But look at this boss, 48 rounds, almost timed out. You time out at 50, and not even with a Gorkin crew setup, it was doing 486,000 damage. I usually can get it up to 650,000. 133 with the phaser, 78,000, 81,000. Like, I didn't even start regenerating shields here, not until round 5, and then more damage kicks in because of morale, and it starts kicking in. And so it was an awesome fight, and I just did 4 of those and I was done. I was done with the event. So so ultimately I would love to, to be able to come on here and say, oh my god, this event is so great, oh my god, you guys have to get into the event, play the event. And unfortunately I can't. I just can't do it. It's just not within me. I am hoping that with the content creators making these videos tonight about this event, that we can affect some sort of change immediately in this event to make these events more rewarding. Because the biggest thing in events, and this has always been the issue, and it's a huge issue for free to play, is what is the investment and what are we getting out of it? Our investment is the repair costs and the speed up timers. We just have to dish that out. And unfortunately, I don't see the payback of that in this event. So I can see a lot of people just skipping out on this event altogether. Sean, I am not in the podcast with Panic tomorrow. I haven't joined one of Deuce's podcasts because personally I told Deuce I'm not going to do a video podcast on your channel until I do one on my channel. And ultimately, like Patrick says, yes, better rewards. That is why we play these events. It's something to do, but more importantly, it's to get rewards that we can't get anywhere else. And that is the one thing about mobile gaming that some developers understand and some don't. Events like this, you offer rewards that players cannot get anywhere else in the game. That's how you get players into the events. That's how you get players spending on the events. And it's just not happening. So unfortunately, I wish it was, but it's not. And I definitely had something to gripe about, because I'm just seriously disappointed in this event. I was, and I think the reason why is because the last event was amazing, was so awesome, and it got my hopes up so high because I was like, oh my god, those last two events they were so much fun. Not including the mining event, which was a letdown because there was no super refinery day on that. But the two events before that, they were so great, so lucrative, and we got so many good rewards. And then we got this. And I'm like sitting here and I'm like, God, should I do a video on this? Because if I do a video on this and I'm trying and I try to say and spin it in a positive way, I just can't. So I had to do a video like this where I'm just like letting it all out. And I'm doing it without cursing, so I'm pretty proud of myself. Yeah, patch and definitely, guys, if you want, use this medium to speak to Scopely. They are going to watch this video and they are going to read the comments. Say it in a constructive way. Say, Scopely, please listen to Jansen. He knows what he's talking about. He knows what players want. Give them more rewards, please. Like my biggest ask all the time when I talk with Panic and the other developers is we need rewards. We need to be able to fix our ships to continue to play the event. I know you think people are going to buy packs for tritanium and dilithium to repair their ships, and some might, but 90% of the players won't. They will buy packs for ships, things that they can't get anywhere else. You know, possibly any crew members, even though that Carol pack is a little ridiculous priced. Things like that. That is where, you know, they can definitely make money on. And at the state of the game as it stands right now, with the player base being so emotional, so escalated, do a solid one for the player base and give them free stuff. Give them free stuff. Make them happy. Butterlight, I've missed you in the last couple of streams. And Butterlight says, after the disappointment of the mining event with no bonus refinery, I was also so hopeful that Active War was coming around and it would be similar to the first. Agree that it is hard to express how disappointing this event is. Michael says, these rewards are kind of sad. I'm going to clarify that for you, Michael. These rewards are depressive. Not even 2,000 tokens for winning the Alliance event. Patrick says, cheaper costs for officer shards, blueprints, and RSS. That's the other thing. Remember how much crew experience we were getting, and that the crew level up events, how crazy high they were going? Loved it. I loved all that experience and all those free officer shards that we were getting. That was so amazing. Michael says, also cool how the daily event is 2 days. Haha. So apparently it's because of this launch situation that the first day is a day and a half. And No One Shall says, these rewards are pathetic. It's another money ploy. I'm not going to get into... I know where he's coming from, so No One Shall, please don't think I actually disbelieve you or anything. But I like to be more diplomatic with Scopely. I understand their perspective. They are a corporation. They are here to make money. That is their job. That is the reason the game has arisen to the current level that it is. Even though there are bugs, don't get me wrong, there's lots of bugs. So I understand the perspective. I understand that they are here to make money. They have to sell things in order to keep creating new content. Mobile games in general have a ton of bugs. The bugs in this game are not a special case scenario for this single game. Marvel Contest of Champions, so many bugs constantly, but we didn't stop playing because we were addicted. Same thing with Star Trek Fleet Command. I'm not even talking about bugs. I am saying I understand that you need to sell packs to make money on this event. Let's try this. Let's sell packs for the hijack ship event with hijack ships. How about we do that? How about we actually sell those ships? Because they are not for sale. um, and it could be a slow release that they're planning, but don't call it a hijack ship event if there are no hijack ships for sale. um, no one shall says their job may be money, but they need to keep the player base happy. If not, they're going to lose players and their money. Make player base happier, cheapen the packs win, and that's true. The main goal Scopely has is keeping their players happy, um, and I don't think it's a far reach to say they're not happy. Um, and so I think the one thing that I've personally seen a lot of people quitting, a lot more quitting, a lot of higher level players quitting, bases being removed, things like that, and ultimately that is Scopely's responsibility, and I don't know what that means. That is just my take on what has been happening. I hope people don't quit the game. I hope people come back to the game because I'm big on creating a huge community. Um, and I like all the people that I play, even the people that I don't get along with. I like them, such as I'll say it, Cheers Boy, who was hunting down my friend ship while he was trying to do his PVE, and he was doing it in a PvP system, and he was level 30. Um, but even he was playing the game, and I would even miss him if he ever quit the game. Um, so even people who drive you crazy, which he drives me crazy constantly. Um, I would still miss those players in the game because we are part of one big community. And so I really hope that something is done to try to retain the player base that we currently have. So Michael Tate says, how long does the overall event last? Long enough to save up enough tokens for a ship. One thing, you guys, I want you to be very clear of. Everything in the event store is on a timer base. You have to buy it every night. You can't buy it all at once because you're only allowed to buy so much on a specific day, and then the timer resets and you can buy some more. So make sure you're aware of that, and make sure tonight you buy what you want to get, and so it refreshes tomorrow. Because Michael Tate says, how long does the overall event last? How long to save up enough tokens for a ship? Apparently, from what I was seeing, I think you can only get 20 blueprints for a hijack ship in this event. And Craig says, and I have a Brielle and Intrepid pack for sale. Craig, don't buy them. I've heard horrible stories about both the Brielle and Intrepid. Patrick says, Scopely finally making people feel the free to play. And it's a very bad move on their part. No one shall says, it's basically like the saying, happy wife, happy life. Goes for the game, also happy players, happy Scopely. Very true. There's always been a dynamic in mobile gaming between developers and gamers. It's always it's always us against them and them against us. And I think content creators are kind of that bridge that we try very hard to bridge that gap and communicate that need. And I know myself, Deuce, no one shall. A Morgan, Econ, Sinky. We all work very hard to make sure everyone's needs are being discussed. Just like I said earlier in this stream, we will be having a conversation with Panic tomorrow, and I'm pretty sure he is not gonna like what we have to say. Um, but at the same time, we're gonna say it in a very constructive and respectful manner, um, because we want to work with him to make this a better game for everyone. And Butterlight says, I'm imagining Scopely Management uses a machine learning algorithm that aims to maximize revenue, similar to how YouTube has an algorithm that picks videos for you to maximize your watch time. Algorithm doesn't care if people quit or are unhappy, as long as people left continue to spend more. Maybe crappy events cause people to spend, but if so, I would be disappointed in humanity. I would as well. And Craig, you are right. You just grind away all your blueprints. I think it's crazy. Like, you just grind faction ships, and you just get a faction ship because you've hit so many NPCs. I think it's ridiculous. Sean says, is there a new hive mind in the works? Sean, I did send a message in global, in Galaxy diplomacy, and I do have a link. So message me on Discord, and I can send you a link to Elcars. And Butterlight says, pure speculation, lol. And Joe says, what is wrong with the Intrepid? I will tell you this, it's a rumor. It was told to me. I was told not to buy it. It is horrible. It does not work. But with that being said, I think the issue is that the Saladin is bugged. That torpedo is just way too powerful. It's energy damage when all torpedoes are kinetic. Basically what I heard is that the Saladin blows every ship out of the water for the most part, especially if you have Gorkin along with Harrison, will just destroy everything. So honestly, I don't even know what the next ship I would want to buy, because I'm Federation and Romulan, and so I was reading some battle reports of the Gladius, and the Gladius's weapon fires every 2 rounds. It doesn't even fire every round. I was like, yeah, no, I'm not doing that. That's off the list. Intrepid, I heard horrible things about. Enterprise, still up in the air about the Enterprise. I heard that's bugged as well, and that leaves the massive Romulan battleship. I believe it is supposed to be, let's see, a Warbird. It's not Deradex. Augur. It's the Augur class Romulan warship, and I'm curious to see what the description is on this ship, because it looks very similar to the Legionnaire, incredibly similar. Yeah, this looks very much like the Legionnaire. I think there might be a subtle difference, but the Romulan Warbird, the Deradex, the wingspan wraps around underneath the bottom of the warp ship, because then the quantum singularity is in the middle of the ship. Romulan ship design is, I've always found it fascinating. Craig, the only player who purchased Intrepid on our server seems to have quit, and I believe that was Puck. And Patrick says, Intrepid isn't good for farming. It can crack bases easily, but can't do pretty much anything else. And Rex says the Gladius fires 3-1-3-1. Oh, exactly like the Bortus. That's interesting. I will have to battle some more Gladius because when I was playing against them, they would only fire every 2 rounds. Patrick says, good bug for the Enterprise. It's the best ship in the game. Donovan, Augur is horrible. Big gun fires every 6 rounds. Yeah, that would be unfortunate. But it looks crazy similar to the Legionnaire. Very similar to it. It's a little bit bigger. And then Patrick says Enterprise's bug increases damage instead of shield health. And Rex, he has a Gladius, so he's speaking from personal experience. Well, that's good to know. Rex, what do you think of the Gladius? Would you recommend it? Because I am seriously disappointed in the Centurion, and I might just need to level it up. And I know, Craig, you have the Centurion as well. You actually grinded that out with NPCs. Whoa, who is spending? Someone is spending like... Oh my god. What you doing, Doc? What are you doing? Oh, and Bundy. Bundy is spending. He's trying to catch up to me. Demons Run. Awesome. There you go. People are spending on the event. So Rex says the Saladin is better versus his Gladius. He's got a tier 4. Yeah, he says if they fix the Sally, the Gladius would be better. Patrick says, just got to be attacking a Saladin of the same tier or lower. There's some crazy Saladins out there, and my Saladin is tier 6, and I just want to show you guys this. And I barely got the torpedo upgraded because it was super expensive, but you look at like my impulse drive, it's 1800 uncommon crystal. 1800 for an impulse drive. That's so crazy. The phaser will definitely be much more manageable. I just need about 21 more rare crystal here, and I can upgrade the phaser. Definitely looking forward to that. Might buy a pack for it. Patrick says, can I join that alliance? And Rex is talking about the Gladius and says it's great for endgame. And that's the one thing that a lot of people should realize. I don't like fighting interceptors. Interceptors are a pain to fight because their bleed through damage from their torpedoes is ridiculous. I don't mind fighting battleships, and I don't mind fighting explorers because the phaser damage is usually absorbed or mitigated by the shields. But there's something about the torpedo damage that, with the bleed through to the hull, I don't like it. So if you find yourself a good interceptor like a Saladin or like a Gladius, definitely play along with that. And Rex says, I haven't had an interceptor since January, Kara nerf. So it's nice to have the full triangle. And I agree. I had the Legionnaire, I had the Centurion, and that's why I went for the Saladin, is because I really wanted a full triangle for bosses that would come up. Patrick says that's nothing. The Enterprise required 12.2 12,200 uncommon gas for an upgrade to shields. And Rex says 26 uncommon ships top out so soon. And they did talk about testing on the founder server. I believe it was the USS Kelvin, and a couple other ships, and those ships look cool. But I believe those are 4-star ships, and these are the 3-star ships that are currently available. And I'm pretty sure with the structure they've laid out in the game so far, there are definitely going to be more versions and variations of the level 26 faction ships that they will be coming out with, because they make great promotions. They make great packs for the players to spend on. But at the end of the day, I just wanted to get out here and make this live stream really quick for you guys, and let you know that we will definitely be doing our best. Definitely, take to the Scopely Discord, do whatever constructive means you can to affect some change in this event. I really don't know what is going to happen. I don't expect a change. I do hope that our voices will be heard for the next coming event that is going to be designed, and I hope that we can, go forward, start to create better events. I honestly think that players should be creating events and sending them to Scopely, and Scopely can modify them for making money on them as they see fit. But I think that would be a really great idea. However, I know a lot of the people that work at Scopely play the game as well. They would have to. They do their own testing that way. So it's crazy how this kind of event could pass any kind of quality assurance. And Rex, yeah, that's what I was saying at the beginning of the stream, is those 32 blueprint ship packs are very good at value. I believe mine was, was it 30? I believe mine was 34. Yeah, 34 blueprints. It is so much cheaper to do it that way, and that is probably the best highlight was spending on a pack of this event. Those 2 packs right there on my screen, the Centurion and the Saladin, and I'm sure somebody probably has a Bortis pack at their Klingon allied. Those are definitely some of the best packs you can get if you don't have those ships already. Alright guys, other than that, it is way past my bedtime, but like I said, I just wanted to take to YouTube and express my dissatisfaction and let you guys know that you are not alone in thinking about this event. I do hope we can affect some change, and I know some people believe that, Panic will be able to sympathize with us, but his hands will be tied. Scopely management has a vision that's different than ours, and that may be true. And ultimately, we'll see, what happens down the road from this game. But I do know that there is power in the community, and there are things that I am holding back on saying, things that I have done in the past to affect change in games. I've done it once before, and Don't get me wrong; it's completely legal. I don't think we're at that point yet where we need to organize as a community. But I will tell you this: there there was a game that I played a lot, Marvel Contest of Champions. They decided at one point they would take all 150 characters that we had spent money on individually upgrading, tearing up, opening their abilities, and they nerfed every single one. Every single one they nerfed. The entire gamer community banded together, and it was pretty powerful. The YouTubers went to YouTube and talked a lot about what we could do as a gamer community for a product that we loved. And we got Marvel Gaming included in that. We were interviewed by many online blogs. So basically, the entire gamer community, not just the gamer community that plays the game, but journalists who report on games. The game's licensing companies got involved. They started tweeting out the developers. It's something like that that is a possibility. Do I think it's at that point where that's needed with Star Trek Fleet Command? I don't think it's at that point, but I have done it before, and I'm willing to do it again. And that's where I'm gonna kind of leave that at. And for everyone to think about and for everyone to talk about in your alliances, when they say there's power in numbers, it's very true. And it's very dangerous for me to say that being a Scopely content creator, but I do mean it. Because at the end of the day, being a content creator doesn't matter to me as much as making sure that the gamer community is taken care of. And I mean that with every ounce of my heart, that I want everyone to enjoy what they're playing. And I want everyone to enjoy what they're making. And that includes the developers in this game, because I think they're all great people. And I think that we can all work together and come to a solution that benefits everyone in this game. But ultimately, we're going to kind of see where the cards fall and see what happens. And we'll take it from there. So I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm sure I'm definitely going to get some messages tomorrow, which I'll deal with. But other than that, you guys take care, have a good night, and I will talk to you later. Make sure to be kind to one another.